Today's stream is titled Smart Money Stoics, right? And also live futures analysis. But, you know, the last year, it's probably been a little bit more than a year, but, you know, it's cool. I've been reading a lot about Stoic philosophy, Stoicism, Roman Stoicism, or Roman philosophy, whatever have you. You know, I've been recommending Meditations by Marcus Aurelius for a while, Discipline's Destiny by Ryan Holiday. Last year, in one of the book recommendations I gave was How to Think Like a Roman Emperor by Donald Robertson. Yeah, Donald Robertson. And I had read most of it, like 60-70% of it, and then for whatever reason I put it down. I don't know why. That's just who I am and what I do. So the other day, either yesterday or the day before, I was like, you know what, I need to finish this book, because I saw where my bookmark was at, and hopefully you can kind of see where it's at too. It's like right near the end. There's only like 20 pages left and I'm done with it. So I was reading this the last 2 days, trying to finish this up. And it's like a condensed modern version of Meditations. So it's not an exact replica of Meditations, but you know, he gives a lot of ideas from Marcus originally and other Stoics like Musonius Rufus and Epictetus. I don't think he mentions Seneca too much, maybe once or twice, but you know, these ideas can be translated not just into our own life, but into trading as well. Okay. And I think a lot of people overlook that. And there's like this idea behind you know, philosophy that or like Stoicism per se is about not having emotions, or just, you know, something like that. And that's actually not the case. And William Irvine, in his book as well, it's in the other room, A Guide to the Good Life by William B. Irvine. I think I talked about that on here on YouTube at least 2 or 3 times as well. You know, he said the same thing. He's like, there's this wrong idea about what Stoicism is, right? So when we change the way that we think, how we think about things, okay, this is very important, because in trading, psychology is important, right? You know, a lot of people talk about emotional management, right? Not to trade with emotions and all that. But the world of psychology is very deep. Yeah, you can get very detailed in the world of psychology. So man, Larry Williams talked about this, and the first time I ever spoke at an event, I did a presentation, and it was called The Successful Traders Trio. I think that's how you spell that. Okay. I did a presentation called The Successful Traders Trio. Now, I showed up to this event and there was no PowerPoint. And I go, all right, we don't have a PowerPoint. What do we do? Now, knowing that, you know, that I was diving more into Stoic philosophy and Stoicism and everything, that I was prepared for something like that to happen. So I had all the slides on my phone anyway. So I showed up, and, you know, we got the microphone and everything. And I said, look, guys, we don't have a presentation, but I will read to you, you know, the slides that I had for the people. So the successful traders trio is basically this idea that every trader who wants to be successful needs three things. Okay. A strategy, of course. Risk management. And psychology, if I can spell it. I can't spell. There we go. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Okay. All right. So the successful traders trio is basically your strategy, right? Which a lot of people now call smart money concepts or whatever, you know, something like that. Your risk management, right? Because you can't over leverage and all that, because eventually you over leverage and you screw it up and your account is gone, right? And the trading psychology side, right? You can have your strategy, you can have your risk management parameters, but if you don't have the psychological skills to implement the risk management, to implement the strategy, it's going to be a lot harder to be more successful. So basically, this trio is like a ring light. I have a ring light on top of my computer right here, and it's actually got 5 legs, but a lot of ring lights have 3 legs on them. Okay. Or like a camera stand, right? It has 3 legs on it. So the idea is that if you take one of those legs, right, 3 legs, and if you take one of those legs away, it's going to fall over, right? Because the camera stand will not be able to support itself with just 2 out of the 3 legs. So the psychology side is very important. And again, as mentioned, Stoic philosophy, Stoic ideas can help traders with that. Okay, so we can discuss some of those ideas here as we watch price. Okay, so the Nasdaq has made a new high. The S&P has not really done so, but it is back within that mitigation. I would be a little bit worried if I had shorted this originally, because now we're back inside that. So I would be concerned that we would be trading higher. The Dow has now traded higher as well. So we will see how this goes. Now I am logged into my paper trading account. If you guys want me to put some orders in, I can. We kind of see how it goes, but I don't really prefer to trade the Dow. But anyway, we have some down candles here that have supported price. Price has rallied. We left a small imbalance and some down candles here as well. So we'll see how it goes. Well, at least on a 2-minute. Okay, so we'll watch this. You have those 2 right there. Okay. So, in How to Think Like a Roman Emperor, again, I'll show you guys this one more time in case you want to write it down. How to Think Like a Roman Emperor by Donald Robertson, sorry. Okay. The Stoic philosophy of Marcus Aurelius. It's not trading above the head very distinctively. Let's see. I have a bunch of highlights in here too. So in if you have never read Meditations before, I highly suggest it. Marcus opens Meditations with gratitude. Actually, he has a bunch of names of family members, friends, and kind of like what he learned from them, what he appreciates about them. And his predecessor, let me see, Antoninus, I guess, was the emperor before him, I think, if I remember that correctly. But anyway, the book says, in the Meditations, Marcus contemplates how his predecessor never sought out empty praise or approval from others. Instead, he was always willing to listen to other people's views and consider them carefully. He was meticulous in examining matters that required careful deliberation. He never rushed making a decision and was always willing to question his first impressions. There's a little bit more, but though there's two sentences that I have highlighted there, and the last one is, he never rushed making a decision and was always willing to question his first impressions. What's good, Willow? Tapping in, very nice. I'm somewhat bullish on the Dow. I said somewhat because, you know, I don't know, that 5 minute isn't looking all that good. Kind of a, like, it traded higher, but it fell right off of that. So I'm not entirely sure that that's looking too good. But anyway, as a trader, I think it would be a good idea if we decide that we should not rush into a decision. We shouldn't rush into a trade and always question the first impression. Question if we're bullish or bearish, right? Don't just assume. You know, we have to question it. And of course, one of the more famous sayings from the Stoics, it is not things that upset us, but our judgment about them. So it's not that we take a losing trade that it upsets us, but what we think about it, you know? Because rarely do we get emotional pain from losing a trade. For me, it's more like, well, I lost a trade, maybe I'm not good enough, you know, or, you know, we just get all these negative thoughts and it's not good, right? So that is what I think hurts more than just losing a trade itself. So on page 66, because most of you should have this book, because this was recommended last year as book of the month. So if you don't have it, shame on you. But on page 66, it says, the Stoic likewise tells himself that although the situation may appear frightening, the truly important thing in life is how he chooses to respond. So he reminds himself to view the storm with Stoic indifference and to respond with wisdom and courage while accepting his initial nervous reaction as harmless and inevitable. What he does not do, though, is make things worse for himself by continuing to worry. So think about that. Situations may appear frightening, but the truly important thing in life is how we choose to respond. So we take a losing trade, or maybe price goes against us, and it could be frightening. Oh, we're losing money, or we lost money. You know, it's frightening, but how do you respond to that? Do you revenge trade? Do you try to get back into the market? You try to make your money back quickly? You know, those may not be appropriate responses. To respond with wisdom and courage. Okay, so how do you respond with wisdom and courage? Well, think about it. What is wisdom, right? What is wisdom? Is it wise to try and get back into the market after you took a losing trade, trying to fight, you know, whatever it is that you're looking at? Is that a good idea? I don't think so. Personally, I don't think so. Okay. And again, that 5 minute close on that 1220 candle here, That's a little shaky. That is a little shaky. Okay. The S&P didn't make a new high on an intraday basis right there. At least not yet. It could, but it hasn't done so yet. The Nasdaq did. And we'll see what that does. We're going to take that low off as well. That's kind of getting in the way a little bit. What would y'all rather prefer to watch, the Dow or the S&P? Actually, we'll do a 1 minute S&P. You let me know. You ready to watch the Dow? What's up, Jasmine? Well, the Dow 1 minute is usually doo-doo. Well, at least the micros. E-mini could be a little bit better, but it's still kind of choppy a little bit. Let me see. And then I read a few chapters without a highlighter next to me, so I'm sure there's some things in here that I probably overlooked. It talks about communication, communicating with others effectively. I won't do too much about that. Here's a good one. I've shared this idea before, but I will share it here again. Imagining that we're being observed helps us to pay more attention to our own character and behavior. That was from Seneca, Letters of a Stoic. I know that. So, because Seneca was writing to Lucilius, I think. And that was one of the letters in the latter part of the book near the end, where he talked about observing his actions at the end of the day, but then also on that same page to live as if other people were watching. And so I'm guessing that was later passed on to Marcus. I might have that history wrong, but whatever. So imagining that we're being observed helps us to pay more attention to our own character and behavior. So think about that. Because you guys are watching, right? You guys are watching me and we're watching the markets together. So would I want to take dumbass trades in front of y'all? Well, of course not. I don't want that. So am I gonna take dumb trades? Like, I would hope not. Like, so, like, for example, would I just long right now? Like, probably not. You know, I probably wouldn't do that. Me personally, I would want to wait for something high probability. And we're getting some movement, but it's not looking all that great to me just yet. You know? So now when I'm not streaming, when I'm not live or anything like that, if I imagine, or if I, you know, pretend, if you will, that everybody's watching, then I may not want to take certain trades. You know what I mean? So that's not a bad idea. Here's a good idea. On page 105 to 106, it was Epictetus. who talked about evening meditation. So at the end of the day, right, when it's bedtime, it's evening time, you can ask yourself 3 simple questions. 1, what did you do badly? Did you allow yourself to be ruled by irrational fears or unhealthy desires? Did you act badly or allow yourself to indulge in irrational thoughts? Okay, that's the first question. What did you do badly? Did you over leverage? Did you forget to journal? Did you revenge trade? Did you trade just for the sake of trading, and whatever other mistakes that there are that you did? Okay, so getting a little bit of sharp movement there, a little bit lower. Number 2, what did you do well? Did you make progress by acting wisely? Praise yourself and reinforce what you want to repeat. I like that part. Praise yourself and reinforce what you want to repeat. So what did you do well? Well, I followed my trade plan. I journaled. I liked John's YouTube video. And, I subscribed to his channel so I don't miss future content and everything. And, all that. And the third one is, what could you do differently? Did you omit any opportunities to exercise virtue or strength of character? How could you have handled things better? Again, the third one is, what could you do differently? I like that. So I'll briefly go over the 3 questions really quick, just in case you're taking notes, which I hope you are. But if you're not, then, well, we're going to do what we're going to do, right? At the end of every day, so in the evening time before you go to sleep, number 1, what did you do badly? Number 2, what did you do well? And number 3, what could you do differently? And I have those same things as well. I actually have, it's on my wall, morning meditations, midday meditations, and evening meditations. And that was actually inspired not by this book, but by Meditations, which is in there. So mine's a little bit different though. Morning, midday, and evening. But either way. Let's see what else we got in here. Because not everything is applicable to trading. I'm trying to stick to the ones that are applicable to trading. Ooh, all right. Here's one you ought to write down. Okay. If you're not taking notes, grab a pen, please. Okay, please. Check this out. The wise man loves life and is grateful for the opportunities it gives him, but he accepts that everything changes and nothing lasts forever. Okay, I'll say that one more time because I know you're all writing it down, right? The wise man loves life and is grateful for the opportunities it gives him, but he accepts that everything changes and nothing lasts forever. So as a trader, we could tweak this a little bit. The wise trader loves trading and is grateful for the opportunities the markets provide, but he accepts that price changes and trends don't last forever. You know what I mean? You see how easy that was? Trades don't last forever. The market won't trade in our direction forever. So there you have it. There's some smart money stoicism, if you will. Smart money stoicism, if you will. Olu, I'll put it in the chat for you. I'll do that. I'll write it out for you. Oh man, people are attacking me in some fucking ridiculousness. Spam accounts and whatnot. Now, if you're a woman, you can always change it to the wise woman loves life. Okay, so there's no, it's just Stoic philosophy. They spoke mostly to men, so everything was written like it was towards men, even though they believed women should learn Stoicism. It's just in a class full of men predominantly, they spoke, you know, to men about men, so it's rare that they talk about he or she, her, you know, stuff like that. So I would not, you know, be against writing woman instead of man if that's what you want to do. For the opportunities it gives him, but he accepts that everything changes and nothing lasts forever. Okay. As soon as you said that, I thought you were going to go somewhere controversial. No, not controversial. Musonius Rufus, he actually answered that in that one should disdain hardships. It was asked, you know, should women learn Stoicism? And he obviously answered like a philosopher, you know, and fucking all these things, you know, he goes on, but he basically in a short, concise answer said, yes, women should learn Stoicism because everyone should live in accordance with nature. Why would it wouldn't make sense for only men to live in accordance with nature or only adults to live in accordance with nature. He's saying, look, men, women, children, you know, should all want to live in accordance with nature. Okay. Is the stream cool? Because it's telling me that we're lagging a little bit. Let's just do a sound check really quick. And I'll pin that one. On page 174, he talks about functional analysis and value judgments and whatever. But this is what I have highlighted. He says, fear of pain makes cowards out of us all and limits our sphere of life. Right? Fear of pain makes cowards out of all of us and limits our sphere of life. So think about that. How many times have we not wanted to take a trade because we were fearful of taking a loss? It's cowardice, right? So there's some application there as well. I'm telling you, man, there's a lot of good stuff in this book. You just gotta read. And I don't want to give out too much of this book either. You know, I'm not gonna read the whole thing to you, but those are a few of the highlights of what I have in here. Oh, here's another good one. Here's another good one. The wise man will not get upset about things that lie beyond his direct control, such as other people's actions. So think about that. Let's tweak that a little bit. The wise trader will not get upset about things that lie beyond their control, such as the market. So if you take a break-even trade, why would you be upset about that? You don't control the market. You only control where you put your orders in. And that's that. Oh, I'm upset. I got to break even. I'm upset. Why are you upset? You didn't lose money. You didn't lose money, so why are you upset? You're probably upset because you missed out if it got you out and then it went your direction. So that's what you're really mad about. Man, I missed the move. Right. But at least you didn't lose money. So we gotta tweak the way we think, right? We got to tweak things a little bit. All right, and that's it up until page 240. And there's only 200 and... Let me see. 270 pages. So I've only got about 25, 30 pages left of it, and that's a wrap. So again, you know, people come on and off the stream, so I'll share this one more time yet again. That book is How to Think Like a Roman Emperor by Donald Robertson, The Stoic Philosophy of Marcus Aurelius. So if you haven't read it, you want to pick it up, you can do that. You can do that. Okay.